Hello students, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to discuss about control statements in C. So these control statements are used to control the sequence of program execution. So if you want to execute some statements on a particular time, okay. So if you want to execute statements based on the condition, or if you want to execute statements in n number of times, then you need to use this control statements. Okay, so these control statements are divided into three types: selection or branching statements, iterative statements, and jump statement. Selection or branching statements are also known as decision making statements. So here statements are executed on based on condition. So if the condition is true, set of statements are executed. If the condition is false, another set of statements are executed. Okay, next one is iterative statements. Iterative means repetition. So here the statements are executed n number of times repeatedly. Okay, next one is jump statement. So here you can execute only some set of statements, okay, and then you can jump and execute another set of statements. Okay, so these are known as jump statements. So let's see one by one. So the first one is selection or branching statement. So these are also known as decision making statements. Okay, there are 5 types: simple if else if ladder, nested if else, switch statement. So let's see one by one. The first one is simple if. It is one-way branching statement which contains only one block, that is if block or true block. So in simple if, I already told, it is a decision making statement. Here the statements are executed based on the condition. The simple if statement contains only one block, that is true block. So here the syntax: if the condition is true, then block of statements are executed. Otherwise, this block of statements are not executed. Okay. Let's see the flow chart. Okay. So here the condition for, suppose if A greater than B. Suppose A value is 10, B value is 20. A greater than B is condition is true. If it is true, then true block statements are executed. If it is false, normal statements are executed. These are not executed. Okay. So here see, if the condition is true, then true block statements are executed. If the condition is false, true block statements are skipped. That means not executed. Okay. Control transfers to statements X, any other statements. If the condition is true, both true block statements and statements, normal statements, are executed. Okay. So here if the condition is true, first true block statements are executed, then normal statements are executed. If the condition is false, only normal statements are executed, not true block statements are executed. Okay. Let's see the example program. Hash include stdio.h int main. So here I am taking one number variable that stores 0. Okay. It is a variable which contains 0. Printf enter a number. So we are asking user to enter a number and we are storing it in 0. For suppose user enter value is 10. If number, that means 10, divided by 2. Okay, so here we are checking the condition by using if statement. What is if? If the condition is true, then true block statements are executed. If the condition is false, only another statements are executed. True block statements are not executed. So here the condition is 10 divided by 2 equals to 0. Yes, 2, 10, 2 5s are 10 and 0. 0 equals to 0 is true. So 10 is even number. Okay. For suppose the user given value is 9. Okay. So 9 divided by 2 equals to 0. So 2, 9, 2 4s are 8, and then 1 equals to 0 is not true, then these statements are not executed. It returns 0. Okay. So this is simple if. Next, if else. So here it contains two blocks. One is if block, true block, and the next one is false block, that is else block. Okay. So here it is a two-way branching statement which contains two blocks, if block and else block. So if block is also known as a true block and else block is also known as false block. It is the simple extension of simple if statement. So it is the extension of simple if statement. So in if statement, if the condition is true, true block statements are executed. Otherwise, true block statements are not executed. So in if else, if the condition is true, then true block statements are executed. If the condition is false, then else block statements are executed. Okay, that means false block statements. Let's see the flow chart. Flowchart is a diagrammatic representation of step-by-step process. Okay. So here first we check the condition. Okay. If it is true, then true block statements are executed and then normal statements are executed. If it is false, if the condition is false, then false block statements are executed and again normal statements are executed. If it is true, false block statements are not executed. If it is false, true block statements are not executed. That is the condition. So here if the condition is true, then true block statements are executed. If the condition is false, false block statements are executed. If both cases, either true block or false block are executed. Okay. In both cases, normal statements are executed. Okay. That is if else. Let's see the example. So it is the extension of simple if statement example. Okay. So here user entered value is 9. So first it checks number, that is 9 divided by 2 equals to 0. Okay. So here 9 is not divisible by 2. Okay. So that means 2, 9, that is 2 4s are 8, 1 not equals to 0. So these statements are not executed. Else statements are executed, that is 9 is odd number. Okay. So if it is true, then if the given number is divisible by 2, then it is the even number. If it is not divisible by 2, then those are odd numbers. Okay. Next one is else if ladder. So it is another way of putting ifs together. Multiple decisions are involved. Okay. A multiple decision is a chain or ifs in which statements are associated with each else statement. So else if ladder. So let's see. Here first condition is checked. If the condition is true, then statements are executed. If the condition is false, again condition is checked. Okay. If it is true, then statements are executed. If it is false, another if statement is checked. It is the if conditions are number of. So here multiple decisions are involved. So whatever the condition is matching, that statements are executed. If none of the conditions are matching, then last else statements are executed, that is known as default statements. Okay. So let's see the flow chart. So first condition is checked. Okay. So if the condition is true, then statements are executed. That's it. Normal statements are executed. Okay. So if the condition is false, again it checks the condition. One more condition. If it is true, statements true are executed, then normal statements are executed. If it is false, again it checks the condition. If it is true, then statements 3 are executed and again normal statements. If it is false, last default statements are executed. For suppose condition 1 is false, condition 2 is false, condition 3 is false, default statements are executed. Okay? And then normal statements are executed. So that is else if ladder. One if contain number of else ifs. Okay, that's why it is known as else if ladder. Okay, it is a chain of ifs. Okay. Next one is nested if else. So what is meant by nested? Nested means one if containing another if. Okay. One condition contains another condition, that is known as nested. So here nested if else means one if else contains another if else. So that is known as nested if. One if else contains one more if else. Okay. So here when series of decisions are involved, we may have to use if else statement in nested form. Okay, so here the syntax, if condition is true, then again if condition is checked. Okay, if condition is true, then one more condition is checked. If it is true, then statements are executed. So if the condition 1 is true, condition 2 is false, then statements 2 are executed. If condition 1 is false, okay, else block statements are executed. Okay. That is the condition. Let's see the flowchart for better understanding. So here first condition is checked. If it is true, then condition 2 is checked. If it is true, then statement 1 are executed and then normal statements. First suppose if condition is true, 1 is true, then condition 2 is false, then statements 2 are executed. Okay. And then normal statements. If condition 1 is false, then statements 3 are executed and then normal statements. That is the nested if else. Okay. And the last one is switch statement. So it is multi-way branching statement which can be used to select or evaluate multiple decisions. Okay. So if the condition involves multiple decisions, then it is known as switch statement. A switch statement contains a keyword switch. Okay. So it contains a keyword switch. Switch means predefined statement. Keyword means predefined statement which have predefined meaning. Okay. Followed by expression with multiple case blocks. So it contains multiple case blocks. Based on the expression, case is executed. Okay. So each case block statements contain a keyword case followed by a label with semicolon. The label should be integer constant, single character constant. The default statements can be written anywhere in the switch statement. Okay. So let's see the syntax for switch statement. So the switch statement contains switch keyword followed by expression. Based on this expression, the case statements are evaluated. So switch statement contain case statements. Okay. Case, label number. So here label 1, label 2 up to label n. So if the expression matches with case 1, then case 1 statements are executed. None of these statements are not executed. Okay. So if the expression is matched with case 2, then statement 2 are executed. If the expression is not matching with any cases, then default statements are executed. So here default statements are executed. Okay. Let's see the flow chart. So here expression. So if this expression matching with case 1, then these statements are executed. If the expression is matched with case 2, then these statements are executed. 3, 4. If the expression is not matched with any cases, then default statements are executed. That is switch statement. Okay. So by this, the simple if statements are completed, means the selection statements are completed. In the next video, I will discuss iterative statements and jump statements. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts regarding to these selection statements, please comment me in the comment section. For more videos, please subscribe my channel.